This is how I built my Jaguar habitat. Welcome everyone to my channel. This is Joey, and today we're gonna play Planetzoo. One of my favorite animals in the animal kingdom is the jaguar. So it's about time we are going to build a habitat for these precious cats. So this is the layout that I'm going to be using for the build of the Jaguar. The Jaguar is a very simple animal to build, one of my favorite animals. A very lush foresty. I'm thinking like a stream that goes across and it's gonna expand into a gigantic island right in the middle. A lot of viewing sceneries. One of them that I failed to do is doing an underwater viewing gallery for the Jaguars. Um, from this game, it's very hard to implement water in this game, so I kind of give up that really quickly. And hopefully, in the second game, we could have easier mechanics for the water. Something like Jurassic World Evolution 3, where the water mechanics is so easy to implement, especially the waterfalls. So maybe in the second game, we could have something like that, which is easier to implement the water in. Going a lot of decorations like jungle South America ish, with the palm trees, with the giant rhubarb trees, anything that makes it more lush, more exotic. And of course, every lot of spots for them to hide, and giving them a little bit of privacy. Here is what I'm talking about, adding the water. That is the viewing gallery. For some reason, I couldn't implement the water that high how I wanted. I want the water to be a little bit higher, but in the case of this game, it really depends how the slopes really is equal to the terrain. So if the terrain is kind of off slightly, that means that you have to either you know again change the terrain to the point where we could have water. It's really too complicated. I do advise to use the stamp terrain, which I did right here, but I wasn't satisfied of how I wanted. So I try to improvise on how I want my water to be. Oh, I love that effect, the mist. That's really cool. So instead of making a underwater, actually it was supposed to be an underwater viewing gallery. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but it was supposed to be, seeing the jaguar swims is a remarkable viewing. But instead, I'm trying to make this one to be something visual for the guests to see. So I'm building a lovely stream right there. So at least if there's no jaguars, I mean I only have two jaguars in my habitat. There's something at least they could see. They could see a stream that goes by, and at first I was very satisfied with it. It looks really nice. It looks really cool. But you know, at the well, like it took me like 3 days to build it. So I would say at the second day, when I pause the game, when I take a break from the game, I realize, what, it's yeah, it's not that good. So what I did is I ditched the glass barrier and then expanded with, as you can see right there, I expanded the habitat. Now it's a much bigger, it's a bigger habitat than before. And you can see right there, look at the travelability. The blue highlight is where they could travel. There's so much that they could travel in. So, that's what I do suggest using this tool a lot, because there's some cases, not just like rocks, but like trees or bushes. They could block their travelability. You just gotta keep checking it every now and then. There's also some notification where they will let you know that if the animal can escape from that barricade. So you seen that red notification. What I usually do, I kind of hide it or block it with rocks, as you see right here. And when I keep blocking it, I just, they come in my head thinking maybe this is a good idea for a waterfall. I love waterfalls in all my builds, so yeah, I built a waterfall, just a random waterfall. Why not have a random waterfall there? It looks how do you say it? It looks exotic. I think that's the right word to say. I don't know what was the word I'm trying to look for, but it looks natureful. I don't even know if natureful is also a word, but yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention I have a black Jaguar, which really cool. I think they're Oh, I don't know if they're rare, but I got a black jaguar. So I have two jaguars, male and female. They live in this gigantic habitat. Hopefully, I get some cubs, so that way it will fill. Look at it! Look at all the spaces there, and you can see the red the red symbol. That means that they could escape there. I don't know if I change it in this video. No, so I just keep doing more decoration, more foliage, more lush. Um, yeah, so you have to keep checking it because sometimes the foliage will block their path and they couldn't move. I added a tree here because I thought the jaguars could climb trees. I guess they couldn't climb this tree, but I like the visual. You know, a giant tree right in the cliff, and here I'm. This is where I fix it. Just add that rock there, and you can see. You know, just using this. Look at that. Now they couldn't escape, but they also have a lot of room to run around. I'm almost done with this. I did take out the mesh fence because I don't really need it, to be quite honest. The jaguars cannot jump over, so I'm really good to go. This is actually a pretty fun build. It took me 3 days, but all in all, like in total, I will say like 5 hours if I didn't take any breaks. You know what I mean? But it is a really fun build, and that is how I built my jaguar habitat. Another look of the habitat. So hopefully you guys enjoy this little, my little rambling, my little commentary. Something that I hardly do in my channel, and that's because I don't really have time anymore to do a let's play like I usually do. But hopefully this is kind of, you know, a little bit of a substitute. It's short too. It's not like 30 minutes video like I usually do in the past. Short videos, I think it's much more reasonable now in this age of YouTube. And there's another final view of the jaguar habitat. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this little video and this habitat, and I'll see you guys in the next Planetzoo videos. Thank you guys for watching.